Back when Final Fantasy released, Mysidian Elder became a new potential win con in decks like Flicker Tron in Pauper. Elder would make for a nice win con as the deck was already mostly non-creature spells, and the ability to use Ghostly Flicker and Mnemonic Wall loops to get additional wizard tokens which could very quickly kill your opponent was quite enticing. But it quickly became evident that this was just an inferior way of winning the game than what they were already doing. That is until the most recent Paupergeddon, where a player made top 4 at an 1,000-person tournament using Mysidian Elder as its main win con in this Pinger Tron homebrew. Hi, I'm March from StrataGames, and today we're playing some Pinger Tron. This was the 4th place finishing deck at the most recent Paupergeddon by Manuel Masis. Our main win con is Mysidian Elder, which makes wizards and deals damage to our opponent, and Ghostly Flicker to make more of those wizards. Black Mage's Rod acts as a backup wizard. Cryogen Relic is a card we can flicker with Ghostly Flicker for tons of card draw. We also have a couple draw spells with Eviscerator's Insight, which can also flash back, and then tons of cheap artifacts to set up our draws, fix our mana, etc. with Lembas, Prophetic Prism, Nile Spellbomb, Expedition Map, Candy Trail, and Barrels of Blasting Jelly. We're also playing 4 Brambleworm because this card just does it all in this kind of a deck, and a 1 of Carevex Torch to just dome our opponent for a lot of damage. Of course, we're playing all the Tron lands, as well as a Bajuka Bog, Conduit Pylons, a couple islands, and a Polluted Mire. And in our sideboard, we have Hydroblasts, Cast Down, Breath Weapon, Moment's Peace, and another Spellbomb. So let's take this for a league and see how it does.
Thanks to Card Market for sponsoring this video.
All right, here we are with, that's Assisted Tron with Expedition Map and 2 of our Tron lands right away, plus a Prism, which makes colored mana. This looks pretty dang good. Start with the map so we can have Tron on turn 3. Then I can play like Prism, Spellbomb, Cryogen Relic at the very least. Another Expedition Map. We'll play our mine. Looks like we're against maybe Dimir Affinity with the Darksteel Citadel. I think I'm going to discard this second map, probably. Obviously, more mana isn't a bad idea, but I like everything else in our hand. Maybe the Spellbomb could go. Get a tower here. Let's start with Prophetic Prism, draw a card, Mysidian Elder. So I only have 1 colored mana, so Elder or Rod or Cryogen. I mean, probably the Elder. You can attack and block theoretically. I could play the Spellbomb now, but I honestly don't think it's going to be relevant as far as exiling their graveyard yet. And I can get more damage by waiting until the Black Mage's Rod is down. Not to mention if they play another Reefer, maybe I just discard the Spellbomb. They play a Bridge, and there's a Blood Fountain. So the Spellbomb will be relevant. There's an Enforcer, and another Enforcer. Probably playing Brambleworm then. Ghostly Flicker, definitely could be good, but I think we want the blocker. Since they're Dimir, there's probably a higher chance they're just playing like Cast Down. So Brambleworm might not be long for this world, but if we can dodge removal for this one turn, then maybe I can hold up Ghostly Flicker, protect it on future turns. There's a Spellbomb, and there's the Cast Down, unfortunately. We're going to take 10 Power Plant, so I only have 1 colored mana. Black Mage's Rod's more damage, but we kind of need to survive, so probably Cryogen Relic so I can like Ghostly Flicker for a bunch of card draw. Yeah, let's do this. Ping for 1. Carevex Torch. We have a Spellbomb, but we have all this mana that's going to be wasted. Am I gonna chump? Potentially. 1 damage is probably not worth it regardless. Yeah, let's go for a chump here. I mean, I could chump with the Wizard token and we have the Elder to flicker. I just think I might be flickering like Prism and Relic. Prism for more colored mana and Relic just to draw a bunch. Abandon Attachments with Snacker. Interesting. I guess I'm going to Spellbomb them. I can't really deal with a Snacker as well here. And they're going to Spellbomb us back to get rid of the Brambleworm from the grave. Power Plant. All right, let's draw 3. Ghostly Flicker these. See what we get. Prism, Elder. See, I could Carevex Torch and Enforcer. We have 8 mana. That would be 5. All right, let's start with a Prism. I guess I could Cryogen one of these. So play an Elder, play a Spellbomb. Cryogen. Yeah. I guess I missed a damage by doing this in this order, but that's okay. Maybe I don't even Spellbomb. Candy Trail is probably better. Try to set something up. We are pinging them for a lot, I will say. Expedition Map could find colored mana. We don't really need that at this point. Olympus is okay. I guess we do want the life gain a little bit. And we do just kind of want cheap spells. I could maybe Carevex Torch them for lethal next turn. All right, we'll get rid of the Lembas and let's Cryogen an Enforcer, ooh, another Elder. Pass the turn. So how much mana do we have? 11. Carevex Torch would be 10 damage plus 2 from the Wizard tokens. That's not quite lethal. I think we want to block here. They have a Cryogen Relic. I could crack it to bring back a Snacker. They're not gonna. Black Mage's Rod. So I could play both of these. So this is going to ping for 2. This is going to ping for 3. So they're at 9, and I've used that much mana. And then I have 6 or 7 left which could be 6 with a torch plus 4 pings. I think that's lethal. In fact, we can also cast a spell bomb, which is 1 mana, 4 damage. Here's another rod. They go to 9. Spell bomb. They could have a metallic rebuke, which even with the ward on Kaervik's torch, they could pay for. And if they do counter it, I will lose. So what I should do is not pay all of our mana into it. Oh, I already used all our colored mana. Never mind. I can't actually. They're going to bargain an enforcer. Okay, that's fine. We have the spell bomb. So we're actually not quite killing them. Let's crack this candy trail, but we dealt them a lot of damage. Urza's mine. Maybe I should have kept that for a discard. I technically have enough mana. I could suit up one of these with a Black Mage's Rod and attack, but then if they have a kill spell, it's kind of worse. Plus, I have to chump probably here. I think we're just going to pass. All right, we got him to second enforcer, though. Do I need to chump here? I mean, they're blue-black. Do I think they can deal us 2 direct damage? I don't think so. I think I'm going to take it. I don't really want to chump, and then they have like 1 or 2 kill spells for our guys, and then we run out of damage. Dismal Backwater gains them a life. We have a spell bomb if they go for a blood fountain. Snacker's fine. Another blood fountain. Lembus is 4 damage for 2 mana. I mean, this is just outrageous at this point. They have a spell stutter sprite. That's pretty clever. Luckily, they tap out, and we just have lethal with this Kaervik's torch by a mile, because it's 10 plus 4. Things were looking scary there for a bit, but we got there. Very nice. We don't have any artifact hate, although I think we might be okay anyway. Moment's Peace, cast down Spellbomb. I like the maybes to bring in. Is there anything bad in our deck? Not really. We already have barrels for removal that kills anything they have. Breath Weapon for Snacker, Spell Stutter, and Refurb is maybe not terrible to have like one of. Again, don't really want to remove anything, but maybe a Candy Trail for 1 Breath Weapon. I mean, that worked pretty well, and they had a pretty good aggressive start, so hopefully we can do that again. Then again, we drew 4 of our pingers in 20-ish cards. We drew the 5th one too, another Elder. All right, this is not good enough. We don't have mana to cast almost any of these, and then we also don't have anywhere near close to Tron. This is better. I guess we're getting rid of the Bog. We already have a Spell Bomb, and it is a land, which is nice, but there's no guarantee that it'll be able to catch what we want right at the right time. Another Mine. Play the Spell Bomb. Tower. I could go for Prism, and if I naturally draw it, I can Worm on turn 3, or I could go for Olympus, which helps us find it faster, but I think the upside is pretty high here. Oh, they just have an Annul. Well, maybe that's bad. Maybe I should have played around Annul. They did mulligan really low. What is this, like mulligan of 4? 5, okay, Cryogen. Losing the Prism's pretty rough because we have no colored mana now. And a Refurb. Discards. It's got to be the Flicker. I could get rid of the Mine, but it might be our only land drop. Candy Trail's good. Start with that. Lembus, Insight, not what we need. Play a Mine. Lembus. Looking for not that. Prism's good. They have a Thought Cast. Swing for 2. And a Swamp. Bargain the Relic. Another Thought Cast. Okay, now they have a million cards. We're looking for a power plant. Let's get down the Prism while they're tapped out. Map is good. Let's get that down while they're tapped out. So I can play Elder next turn. I can't play the Worm unless I top deck the power plant because Map's going to eat too much into our mana. Cryogen Relic. They're drawing a lot of cards. Luckily, they're not yet filling the board that much. But yeah, I'm expecting that to change. There's 1 monitor. All right, we're going for the power plant. And Elder first is more damage. Not sure that's what I'm concerned with at the moment. I'm going to crack a Candy Trail, another Elder. Next turn we get a Bramble Worm down. That'll help, but if they just cast it down, it's not great. I think the Elder doesn't do anything since it doesn't even block on the ground here, so let's just go with the Relic. Breath Weapon might be okay if they play a couple more creatures that have low toughness. Breath Weapon not looking amazing, I admit, but if they get some Spell Stutters and Snackers on the field, it might look a little better. Enforcer, chances they have a single cast down are very high. Thought Cast, another Mine. I mean, we got to go for the Worm, but it's not looking amazing. Like, it's all we can do, and if it gets killed, it's not great. I mean, we could have done something else like Cryogen Relic on the monitor, but I don't think that's doing us a ton either. We're going to bargain a land. I mean, a decent sign. Refurb. We'll get rid of an Elder. Dismal Backwater. They do have the cast down. Crack our Lembus. Take 9. Candy Trail. Start with that. They have an Annul for it, or a Spell Stutter. Okay, I can counter the Spell Stutter. I was going to use this Breath Weapon anyway. So let's do that. Wipe their Refurbs. Candy Trail is going to resolve. Barrel Blasting Jelly's removal, plus more mana filtering. I don't need a Bajuka Bog. Crack this. Barrel. I can't use it to remove anything yet, but I can use it to cryogen this, and then another barrel, which is all removal. I could use the second barrel to spell bomb with a crack for a draw card, but I'd rather kill these two and then be able to do it. In case they have a blood fountain. There's a snacker. Dismal backwater. Yet another barrel. 5, 5, and then spell bomb. That's the mana we have. Okay. Probably do that in their upkeep. Let's blow up this enforcer. Okay. We'll actually let that go. Might not want to use the spell bomb quite yet. Yeah, but I still do want to not take this damage. You have a prism already. Let's just blow up this monitor. I should have still just done this in the upkeep. That's okay. They didn't sack the enforcer, so I assume they don't have anything. I'm going to let this go, actually, because I actually might want to kill the snacker too, and then spell bomb. And if they go for a blood fountain here, okay, I'll lose my card draw, but that's okay. Another snacker. And a monitor. Candy trail. Start with that. They have another spell stutter. Okay. Barrel of blasting jelly. And they have an annul for that too. Well, that is unfortunate. In that case, I guess we're going to spell bomb now and see if we can find something else. Expedition map. Crack 4 conduit pylons. Map goes to the graveyard. We'll play an elder. Things were going pretty well for a second there. I felt like they didn't have enough creatures, but then they were able to redeploy all of these even after we killed a couple, which is pretty annoying. We're at 3. Here's Olympus. See if it resolves. Now they have another spell stutter. Okay. Exile Brambleworm, but we're still just dead on board. Maybe another breath weapon would have been a nice possibility, honestly. They are a lot more aggressive than us, so I actually think maybe we cut a couple elders. We're just trying to stabilize for a while. Bring our Candy Trail back in. Well, this is interesting. Candy Trail can hopefully find a second land and then map. It's not amazing. Yeah, the fact that the elders is all we have. If we had something other than elders, I might keep it, like worms and stuff, but we didn't even have anything to ramp into. This one's pretty good. It is turn 3 Tron. Map, mine, then we're going to go for the tower. They have a Cryogen Relic. Here we have Prism. I think we're just going to go straight into the elder because I can actually maybe get some decent pings down here. Then Lembus. Mine is okay. I think I'm going to get rid of it. Well, we get a tower, power plant anyway. I don't mind another land here, but I didn't want to draw a lot of land, and also we do need more ways to make colored sources, I think. They go for a monitor for 2 mana. And then a Thoughtcast. Okay. Island. Start with a Candy Trail. Barrel, Blasting Jelly, and Lembus seem good enough. Let's do blue here for a Cryogen. Then Power Plant, Barrel of Jelly. Right away, we're going to do Insight on this Cryogen to draw 3. Another Barrel, and also a Lembus. Like, just one pinger can deal a lot of damage. Another Elder. I have some cards on the field, but I'm actually kind of running out. I guess I have the Insight. Sure, we'll keep the Elder. Maybe I shouldn't play the Barrel then, because I can get more pings next turn, but another Monitor, Enforcer. Okay, well, if we can ping them out with the Elders real quick, we might have a shot here. Otherwise, we're going to die in about 2 turns. Ghostly Flicker's really good for this. Oh. I didn't mean to make blue out of that. Let's make red. Elder. Don't quite have enough mana to Ghostly Flicker the Elders both, plus then Insight. Let's play an island and pass, I think. I think we're going to go for a blocking with 2 Elders on the Enforcers and then flicker them both. They're going to bargain a Relic. I could flicker now to make sure it goes through. I think the ability to block 2 of these guys and then get the Elders back is pretty good, though. Snacker. They're playing that pre-combat because they want to have Spell Stutter for 2. That's pretty evident. Block here. Flicker these both. Ping for 2. Spell Stutter for 2 does not stop this. So we're going to take 10, but ideally we should be able to kill them before they have another attack. Crack a Candy Trail. Spell Bomb. Crack a Lembus. They can't stop a Ghostly Flicker, as we just saw. So if I do this, they take 4, and then I have 6 wizards. And then Spell Bomb plus Insight should just be lethal. They could have a cast down that maybe they didn't want to use before, but that's okay. Ping for 4 here with Ghostly Flicker. 2 more wizards. We'll cast a Spell Bomb, which domes them for 6. They can Spell Stutter it. I have no problem with that because they're still taking a bajillion damage. And then we can Eviscerator's Insight to deal the last damage, sacrificing a Barrels. Why not? Could have been a Lembus. 6 wizards goes absolutely crazy. All right, round 2 here. Candy Trail. We have decent setup, but we are really relying on the Candy Trail hitting something, so I think we're going to mulligan this. This is also a 1-lander and way worse, so we're going to 5. All right, this one's keepable. Get rid of the Island and the Elder, I think. These are both for later. Go for a Tower, Trail, Power Plant. Okay. Plus a Prism. We're keeping. Good setup. We just need to get some lands. Not lands. We have the lands. We need to get some other stuff. Brambleworm and the like. Brambleworm would be really good against a red deck. I will say. Burning Tree, okay. Rally, taking a lot here. I only have one colored mana. Cryogen's decent, but it doesn't trade with any of these. Black Mage's Rod at least can gain us some life, and then Lembas. Yeah, so Black Mage's Rod to block, cast a Lembas, ping for 1. Another tower. We don't need more mana, we need... Well, I'll take a power plant anyway, I guess. We need another way to make colored mana, but also we need removal spells. Or life gain, I guess, is what we have in our main deck. Breath Weapon will come in from the side, obviously. Percussionist. Okay, I do get to trade with the Emissary. That's nice. Something, anyway. Elder's a decent blocker, although they can bolt it. But I can also equip the Black Mage's Rod to the Wizard, which at least trades with a 1/1, so that's not the worst. So we're definitely going to play it. And yeah, equip this here. I'll leave up cycling a Mire or cracking a Lembas. They didn't bolt the Elder at the end step, so they might not have one. Or they're trying to preserve it for our face. There's a Rally. Okay, just attacking. Trade with 2 of these. Galvanic Blast to finish off the Elder. Okay. Not the worst. Let's cycle the Mire. Spellbomb does not do a lot. Prism draws a card. That's a Brambleworm, baby. It's going to be near unkillable. Gains us 5 life. Blocks everything. Oh, tides are turning. Reckless Impulse hits Mountain Tomb Raider. Burning Tree into Rally. Okay. Yep, trying to go around everything. Candy Trail. Start with a Candy Trail. Lembas and Elder are both good because Elder blocks. Lembas is life. Let's make the Elder, and I could play Cryogen. They concede. All right. That went well. And we get Breath Weapon and Moment's Peace. Cut all of our spell bombs. Frankly, we don't need... Like, Black Mage's Rod's not very good. Carevex Torch. Like, we mostly win by just doing what we just did, stopping them. Probably don't need Ghostly Flickers that many anyway. Yeah, Black Mage's Rod at least does block, as we saw. And trade. Like, it was actually decent. Maybe it's just most of the flickers. Obviously, Flicker on Worm is good. Flicker on Elder in response to a removal spell is good, but do we really need... Oh, we have Hydroblasts. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, maybe we don't do the Moment's Peace then? Moment's Peace is great against them. Okay, in that case, I forgot we had Hydroblasts. In that case, we cut that. Maybe we cut the Cryogens as well. Like, I wouldn't be bringing in Moment's Peace against... Madness, obviously, but like their Rally, they deal most of their damage by attacking. It seems good enough. All right, yeah, this is good enough. A little awkward with the like pylons, but we also have a barrels can map. I think we get barrels down right away. I can't Hydroblast obviously yet. This allows us to have colored mana next turn, so I can do like Black Mage's Rod or Hydroblast or something. Bushwhacker, pretty good. Okay, Conduit Pylons. Lembas is good, but we need more lands right now. I think we're gonna Candy Trail plus hold up Hydroblast. Candy Trail's good. Power Plant is a land, even though it's not the right land. I think we keep it. Yeah, we'll keep them both. Burning Tree Emissary. I mean, if this goes into a Rally, it's really bad. I think we just got to counter. I do have a land drop, but nothing else. Attack for 3. So I could play the Elder. Best way to block. Or I could play like a Rod plus something. No, I think we're doing Elder. They got a Synth. Hits a Great Furnace. Ren's Resolve hits Synth and Clockwork. Not the worst. We're going to block here and chump the Tomb Raider. We know we're getting a Candy Trail. I think we're just doing map, crack it to reliably hit our land. If we can survive another turn, I can get Tron online. I could scry with the Candy Trail, or I could get map down so I have the most mana the next turn. 7 mana the following turn. Then I can double Candy Trail and probably survive. All right, we're going to do map. We'll see what happens. Definitely could be dead here. There's a Synth. Into a Burning Tree. That's pretty good. Into a Reckless Impulse. Into a Galvanic and a Mountain. Blast the Elder. Epic Cure. Okay, not quite dead. Hydroblast is good. So we're going to crack this for a tower. So we have 7 mana, which is enough to Hydroblast plus Candy Trail, Candy Trail. Let's play a Candy Trail, see what we find. Not lands. It's not what we need. Crack a Candy Trail. Ooh, Elder. I can't play Elder and have Hydroblast. I can play Black Mage's Rod and have Hydroblast, though, because of the way Barrels works. You can use on your turn and your opponent's turn. So I think that's better than doing the Candy Trail. It's a little risky. I mean, I still have Candy Trail up if I really want it, but yeah. Crack a Synth. They get a Rally. Probably got to counter this. I mean, I'm looking for a Breath Weapon really bad anyway, but if I don't find it, I don't think I can afford to let this Rally resolve, especially because we're going to block here. Take 4. Viscerator's Insight. Start with a Candy Trail. Moment's Peace is really good. Okay. This for red. Elder. Then I'm only going to be able to use this on their turn once, which is going to be Moment's Peace. So let's equip this here. Crack a Synth, turn up a Reckless Impulse. Man, they are getting some hits. Mountain, Lightning Bolt, that's going to go here, I assume, which is actually fine, because then I get to Moment's Peace. They don't get much for that. This is 6 damage. Yeah, definitely worth it. Moment's Peace. They take 2 as well. Like, that's not an insignificant amount of damage if I can churn through a bunch of spells. Another Rod. Okay, we have another Moment's Peace on their turn. Sure. Let's do Rod. Then Moment's Peace plus Eviscerator's Insight on their turn because I have the Conduit Pylon, so I can do double black or double colored mana, black and green. They have a Rally. Green, go for a Moment's Peace here. Ping them 3 times. We don't need to block unless they have a Flaring Pain, in which case we're dead anyway, probably. Epicure. I'm not sure they would have anticipated needing to bring in the Flaring Pain anyway. All right, here I am going to go for an Insight and sack this Black Mage's Rod. The barrels is too useful. Obviously, I want to keep dealing them damage, but we need to draw cards, and this is the least useful card on our field, I think. They're going to bolt the other wizard in response. That is a little annoying, I will admit. Now all my damage is done. Okay, I mean, until I equip this. Lembus is decent. We got to find a Breath Weapon or another Moment's Peace. Perfect. Prophetic Prism, and we find the Moment's Peace. How much damage or mana do we have here? Enough to Insight the hero and then also Breath Weapon. Although there is a world where we die to bolts then. We have a Lembus on board. I actually should just sack this. There's no reason I should die to couple bolts here, I don't think. In fact, we could Moment's Peace if we want still. Make him keep playing more guys as opposed to using the Breath Weapon yet. Maybe that's better, actually. Sure, let's do that. Feels a little weird, but yeah, I think this is definitely the right call. Prism. Now we want to equip this so that I can start dealing damage again. They might bolt it in response, but that's fine. Prism. 3 mana for Moment's Peace, so I still have 4. Oh, perfect. Should technically use the barrels actually for instead of the prism, but that's not going to change anything here. They're going to bolt the hero in response. This could be the time to Breath Weapon, but I still just have Moment's Peace. They're out of cards. Yeah, they're out of cards. I think this is the moment to Breath Weapon. Although I guess they have 2 Percussionists. Maybe this is a little risky. Technically, if they turn up bolts, I could die, but I do have blockers for 2 of these guys. They did get a Galf Blast. Currently don't have Metalcraft. Take out the wizard, another barrel, and they concede. All right, that was sick. We really were able to take control of that match. Cannot keep a no-lander. This is a 1-lander with a Candy Trail and a Pylons to scry / surveil. Doesn't seem amazing. Plus, we don't really have anything to ramp into. Again, I think we're going to go to 5. No lands here. All right, the old Natural Tron 4 card hand. Keep, I guess, is barrels better or Prophetic Prism? Probably the card draw from the Prism. I mean, we're going to keep Tron and Prism. Like, frankly, for a 4 card hand, you know, it's pretty much exactly what you want. Expedition Map, maybe a bit superfluous at this point, but it can find us a Mire or maybe a Conduit Pylons or something. Looks like we're against Naya Gates. Pursue the Past. No Snacker is nice. Torch is pretty far from where we need to be right now. Let's Prism. Playing the Prism when we have a map on board pretty much shows them that we have Natural Tron, but that's okay because we have Natural Tron, so don't really want to use my mana on this yet. Bitter Reunion, discard a Snacker. You got a Cliff Gate, another map. Come on. Here's a Lembus. Bajuka Bog. I mean, I guess we're going to keep that. It's really awkward because we've already played a land. They could use Pursue or Cat next turn. I think we're going to get rid of it because I have maps. If I want to find it next turn, I can have it anyway. So let's just not waste our time on that. Here's an Elder. We'll just leave up the map. So, I mean, if they don't use either of these, I very well might tutor up the Bog because then I can like Carevex Torch the Snacker for 1 and then blow up their graveyard. There's a Guardian. Okay, yeah, I think we're going to do exactly that. Guardian's a little scary. Here's a Bog. Barrel, Blasting Jelly. Expedition Map, ping for 1. Barrel, ping for 1. Actually, I guess I can just kill the Guardian with the barrel, right? So not scary at all. That's sick, actually. Use the barrel for red, Carevex Torch the Snacker, and then Bog them. I think this is good enough. Obviously, Torch could be really good to kill them, but this slows them down a lot. Again, with the barrels, we can kill the Guardians next turn even, so I'm not too worried about that now that I realize that. And then we can use this map to find a Conduit Pylons probably. Thraben Charm on the Elder for 2 damage. They get a double Thraben Charm this guy? Or did they just forget they only have 1 creature on board? I think they forgot, because now they're going to journey it. Now they're going for the wizard token. I mean, that's the scary one, but this is the one that can replenish the wizards, so. Obviously, it helps that they're not necessarily using their cards the most effectively. We actually already have 2 ways to make colored mana plus a Bog, so I'm going to just sack this for a Polluted Mire to cycle. So we can use the card draw. Can't use it here, though, because it costs 2. Yeah, speaking of. More lands. Cycle this. Insight's good. I'll use that on a Lembus. Another barrel. I am mine. I could flashback an Insight now, or I could just blow up this Guardian. I mean, I guess we blow up the Guardian. Hit for 1. I mean, we're running out of cards a little bit, although we still have this Eviscerator's Insight, but they're not doing too much now that we've... Like, that Bojuka Bog looks like it was really good. And obviously, them spending their turn a little inefficiently last turn helped. They go for a Rumble, turns up Prismatic Strands. Not too big of a deal because we're dealing damage in pings and we can just stop whenever we want. They take a Moxite, of course. Cast that. They do have a Snacker. Mountain, pass the turn. We have a Lembus. Go for a Lembus. Pylons, put on the bottom. Brambleworm, there we go. Play a Brambleworm. And, I mean, I don't think there's a reason to hold the island. We'll attack with the Elder. Jump with the Spawn. They're probably going to make a robot here, I guess. Yeah. All right, pass the turn. It does help that they also have mostly not gates and haven't found a Basilisk Gate, I will say. Another Moxite comes out. Another Snacker. Sacred Cat. So Brambleworm's good, but I can't really attack necessarily because they can flashback Strands. They couldn't then kill the worm yet, but they just kind of also get back in for a bunch of damage. I don't know. Let's start with an Eviscerator's Insight on this Lembus. We're looking for Ghostly Flicker is the big one. We're getting to the point where more damage is probably good, so I'm going to go for a map on another Tron land, a tower I think, but realize it makes more sense to go for Elder first for more damage, then Expedition map, ping them for 1, crack that for a tower, then we can play a Lembus. Power Plant we don't want. Candy Trail's good, sets up next turn, and uses our mana perfectly. Ghostly Flicker and a Lembus. Perfect. Yeah, we have the Candy Trail to draw an extra card next turn. Okay, I want Ghostly Flicker first, technically, because I want to be able to make a bunch of wizards and then ping them. But yeah, we're just going to pass here. I don't think I need to attack. They're going to crack the Moxite. They have a Pursue the Past. Discard a Faithless Looting. Flashback Pursue. Tapped out. It's pretty good. I mean, they still have the Strands, but otherwise, nothing to do. Pretty good because it allows us to get the Ghostly Flicker off, knowing that it's going to work. Crack the Candy Trail. Ghostly Flicker the Elders. So we now have 3 wizards. Lembus to ping them for 3. We're taking just about any spell. Those are all lands. Well, I guess this comes to an end then. I can attack with a Brambleworm. They can use this Strands, of course. I could barrels one of their guys down, but if they block with all of these, I can't do it to keep our guy alive, so let's just pass. I guess if they do that again at the end step, like tap out fully, and all they have up is Strands, at the end step I could barrels their cat, so they don't have the ability to flashback the Strands, and then get in with the worm. That could be pretty good. Although not knowing what I'm going to draw makes it kind of awkward. Might not be worth it. Discard a Talons of Wildwood for that trample value. They find the Journey. Yeah, it's not great. Definitely got to go on the worm. I mean, our elders still block all the ground creatures nicely, so I guess it's just Snackers getting in. I have a lot of life gain to keep us alive here. I'll crack a Lembus. I'll keep another one around in case I get another Insight, but Black Mage's Rod. Okay. I mean, it's more damage, but would prefer card draw first, obviously. They can Strands to prevent the damage from these guys because the wizards are black. Whereas the Black Mage's Rod creature is a colorless hero token, so they can prevent this damage, which they do. But I'm pretty okay with them using the Strands for just 1 cast trigger, just 3 damage, since there could be a lot more in the future. Oh, I have so much mana. You know what I should have done? I could have equipped the Black Mage's Rod to an Elder, attacked with that, and then if they go for a double block, totally fine. And then maybe I want these in case I get another Ghostly Flicker, but maybe not necessary then. They're going to swing with the Snackers. Going to keep taking it. Melded Moxite. Discards the Talons. Like a really expensive Eidolon thing going on where they can just keep bringing this back. Shattered Acolyte's decent. I don't have like 1 artifact they can blow up that does a ton of work, but still good to have. See, there's a tower. Ugh. I mean, we could lose if we just draw nothing for the next several turns, but we're in a good spot if we do draw something. Talons comes back. Swing with the Snackers. I could barrels one of these at some point, but obviously they just come back. It makes more sense to save it for a Guardian or just when they get a Basilisk Gate or something. Okay. Obviously, flickering these 2 Elders for more wizards is cool, but we really just need card draw, so I'm going to be flickering the Prophetic Prism and the Lembus here. We're still pinging for 4, although I wouldn't be surprised by another Strands here. Yup, but the hero token can at least get in a little bit of damage still. We'll scry then draw first. Candy Trail's perfect. Expedition map. So anything we cast only deals 1 damage. So it makes sense to save these for the next turn. I guess we'll do that. Of course, they have Strands again, but we might as well run them out of them. Crack the Moxite, Faithless Looting. They were down to 20 cards in their deck and haven't found a Basilisk Gate yet. That definitely helps things for us. Discard Talons and Rumble. There's the gate. I'm certainly going to be, They're going for the lifelink here. Blowing this up in response. But we're in some trouble because they can still flashback the strands. I can't kill them, and then they can pump this lifelinker. So if I can't get another removal spell, not to mention this lifelinker, no attacks at all is interesting. There's this mine. All right, let's play Candy Trail. Draw out the prismatic strands, I assume. Ping for 1, scry 2. Another Brambleworm would be good. Hey, very good. I want both of those. Crack the Candy Trail. Oh, I forgot I was only getting one of them here. That's okay. Maybe I should have taken the other one to prevent the damage from a lifelinker, but I don't know. Here's a Brambleworm. That's something anyway. They're going to Thraben and Charm it immediately. Still gain 5. Mine. All right, we got to pass. I mean, they're going to be able to gain a bunch with the lifelink hit here, but if they're out of strands, I can maybe start dealing a bunch of damage, but I know we're drawing a barrels, which is a good draw, but it's not actually the best because it's not going to draw us more cards. They get back their Talons, then pursue the pass, discard the Talons. Looking for a second Basilisk Gate. They don't find it. They find a random gate. They pump a snacker. Okay. Going for the flying damage rather than the lifelink. Somewhat fair. Oh, they're attacking with all the robots too. Do we want to kill a robot or block more damage? I guess we should do this, but I'm taking, what is this, 16 damage? 15 damage? It's a lot. All right, we'll cast an expedition map. Try to ping for 4. See if they got another strands. They do. I mean, they've drawn through 3/4 of their deck, so I guess I can't be upset, but it is annoying, I will admit. Expedition map, we'll crack that for conduit pylons. Surveil. Ghostly Flicker's exactly where I want to be. Can't draw it this turn. Here's a barrels. I need this to not die, even though I only deal them 1 damage. We also have a Brambleworm to exile. All right, we'll pass. They're going to try to pump the cat for lifelink. I would say I could let this go because I don't really care about the lifelink, but they can get the Talons back for trample. Obviously, I don't want them to have lifelink anyway, but it's like I could survive it, but the trample could be pretty bad. So we're going to blow this up. I mean, we're probably not dead this turn because we have both Lembas and Brambleworm, although I don't want to sack the Lembas because that would shuffle away the Ghostly Flicker. There's Talons going on a robot and another Guardian. I can chump the Guardian with the hero, assuming they don't give it trample. I guess it can't be enchanted by the trample giver, so that's good. All right. Let's exile this Brambleworm and block here. I take 7, they go to 15. Okay, and they do have strands. Yeah, I was like, oh, I can maybe kill them with the Ghostly Flicker, but they have strands still, so that seems tough. But we are going to flicker these card draw spells again. Well, artifacts. Sure, we'll see a strands. Those have been so annoying. Try and draw. I'll keep a Prism and a Power Plant. I mean, Prism draws another card, and it does still ping for 1. Figured I might as well. Would have liked to get rid of this Power Plant, though. Spellbomb is okay. It's a little late. It does get rid of a Pursue the Past, but I would have liked it before all those strands went off. I'm gonna crack it right away, because, I mean, I'm dead if I don't find something. Like another barrels for a removal spell. That's not it. I could attack for 4. I mean, I might as well, like, equip this here. Attack for 1. No, because they've strands on black. Never mind, that was a mistake. I mean, it's not a mistake. I have the mana. It doesn't really matter, but re-equip this to an Elder here. All right, we're going to pass. I think we're dead. I can crack the Lembas, but if they put the wilds... No, again, they can't trample on the Guardian. I keep forgetting that. But they can still just pump a Snacker, which I can't block. Also, they go for a Rumble and do not hit another Basilisk Gate, but they do hit a Journey, and I don't think they need another gate anyway. They play a Heap Gate, sure. So they just pump a Snacker, and I can't block. I feel like we were so close. They just got every strands in their deck. I mean, they got everything in their deck, pretty much. That was game 1, right? Because I haven't brought in Moments Pieces, which I would, or Breath Weapons, or Spell Bomb. And we didn't find our Torch. That would have been a great way to win after they've strands on black, is Torch them. Okay, Breath Weapon with their Snackers, Robots, Sacred Cats. Moments Piece is probably more important, so I think, like, maybe we don't need this many Breath Weapons. Spell Bomb is too good, so, like, we're going to have to cut a few cards. Barrels is good. I mean, Moments Piece just blanks their whole turn. I guess we're going to cut some Lembas. We didn't see any Cryogens to keep things tapped either, or draw additional cards with the Ghostly Flickers. Like, we just really drew poorly, I think. Kivrik's Torch, like, they're going to keep all the strands in after they saw how good they were, so, like, Spellbomb's important, and Torch does feel like it'd be good if we get in the same situation. I don't want to cut any of our win cons. I guess we are just cutting a lot of our, like, Relic's so good with the Flicker, but if we don't find it, what does it matter? All right, mine, a bunch of 1-drops, but we cannot afford that. Oh my gosh, like, we kind of have an okay start with the Tron here, but then, like, if we don't get green, which we currently don't have, we just do worms. So I guess we're mulliganing low again. All right, here's Tron. I mean, I can get rid of the tower. I want the Bajuka Bog, both for the black mana and for the fact that they're a deck that matters against. So I think I'm going to get rid of the Elder. Not that I love that either. Map, pass. We get our tower back, of course. Go for a Faithless Looting. Come on. Discard 2 snackers. All right, we'll go for Power Plant and hope we draw something we can actually play. Another map. Perfect. I mean, I guess we're sacking this for Conduit Pylons. I kind of want to sack it for like a more to just draw a new card, but we probably do need at least one way to make colored mana. Pursue the Past. Discards a snacker. Crack a map. Pylons. Ghostly Flicker. This was my concern getting rid of the Elders. I have nothing to sack to the Insight. I cannot take another Flicker. I could have Pachuca Bogged away their 1 Pursue, but I think we can get more value out of it. I guess once I have a Flicker down, I can have Pachuca Bog at instant speed. They're just pumping the snacker right away. I mean, that's fair. I'm doing nothing. That's pretty annoying. Faithless Looting. I mean, if I can find like a barrel to blow up the snacker at least, then I can bog away all this stuff. That'd be decent. Candy Trail. Let's start with that. Breath Weapon. Spell Bomb. Okay, so I could draw the Breath Weapon here. Huh. I only have 1 colored mana because I could keep the Spell Bomb on top. And then when I go to crack it, exile their graveyard, I draw the card from the Spellbomb first, and then I cast the Breath Weapon to kill the snacker, but I don't have black and red, unfortunately, so I can't actually do all of that. Which means I probably just keep the Breath Weapon, wipe the board now, and then Pachuca Bog them. I don't love using Breath Weapon for just a single guy, but obviously it looks worth it here, especially when they're trying to kill us. I'd also like them to use their mana on the Basilisk Gate to pump the snacker, but I can't do this at instant speed then until I have the bog down and I can flicker it, which is probably going to be a little while. I did still keep the Spell Bomb because it's something to sack to the Insight, or obviously they could just have more graveyard stuff. Malevolent Rumble probably finds another Basilisk Gate. Maybe they take a journey or something, but no, it's Gate indeed. I mean, like, literally this spawn can kill us if they're Basilisk Gates. Well, they sack it for a Guardian. I guess that's good. Not really. Guardian's pretty bad. Alright, we're gonna Spell Bomb, Insight, Spell Bomb, and draw 3. Moment's Peace. I can't use this turn, but I can use next turn, unless I find something here. This is Candy Trail, but Obsidian Elder. It doesn't make colorless guys for this. I need to find an answer for this, so I have to get rid of both of these. Crack Candy Trail. Brambleworm is okay. Play a Spell Bomb. I mean, they could just spend their turn dealing us 12 if they want to, which is not the worst. I mean, they're not developing their board, so if I find a kill spot for this, like, maybe they get set back a little bit, but I'm also taking half my life here. Power Plant. Alright. I only have 1 green mana, so I have to leave it up for Moment's Peace, so I'm going to Insight this Spell Bomb, and I can't afford to pay the black, unfortunately, and then we're just gonna have to pass. I mean, I kind of hope they just do the same thing, so they waste their whole turn. I guess if they have 1 gate, there's a Basilisk Gate, they only have to pump it once, so they don't have to waste their whole turn, and they might as well. Unless they're worried about life gain, which they could be. Okay, I like that. We got the Moment's Peace, so we're not dead yet. I really need a Prophetic Prism, though, because all I can cast is, like, this Black Mage's Rod and then the Moment's Peace. Can't cast the Brambleworm because they could get this big enough to kill us. I guess this could block, but they could bring back Talons in that case. Journey to Nowhere exiles the hero, so I wouldn't block. Yeah, that's fine. I could do the Moment's Peace in response for 1 damage, but I'd rather they be forced to pump this. Because if they don't pump it, I just won't do the piece, obviously. Flashback Moment's Peace. We'll take 0. Give me a Prophetic Prism or a Barrel. Barrel's really good too. Cryogen Relic. I mean, I'm currently dead. Cryogen Relic gives us 1 draw. That's all we have. We've drawn really poorly, I think. This is getting frustrating. Carevex Torch. Amazing. I cannot cast literally anything. I feel like we should have had that. Pretty annoying. Alright, here we are in round 4 with no lands again. This one's fine enough, I suppose. Ghostly Flicker is gone. Let's go for a trail, see if we can pick up another Tron land. Another Spell Bomb and a Mire. Alright, I don't want those. Technically, I do want lands, so maybe I should keep the Mire, but I obviously want the Tron lands. We got an island. I mean, that lets us play our Prophetic Prism. We got an Elder. I mean, blue is also good for Ghostly Flicker. I'm trying to see the bright side. All right, looks like we're against Jund. So let's see this tower go away. Okay, they just go for their own land. I mean, that's fair. I'm not even close to getting Tron. But when we do get close, oh, look at that. They'll probably just blow him up. I think I just play Power Plant and pass. There's not really a reason to cast anything. I could cast a Spell Bomb, but if they try to Wildfire us, I'm going to Ghostly Flicker the land they target, and then also the Prism. And if not, I'll just crack this Candy Trail. Yeah, they already have a Chrysalis, so that's scary. And then 2 mana for a Wellspring. You get another Power Plant and another Tower. Come on, dude. Not what we're looking for. Well, I think I gotta just play this Elder, and there's really no reason to play the Spell Bomb. I could get more damage off of it later. Refurb. I'd rather have the Spell Bomb than the Bog, I think, because this is damage, it's a card draw, and I don't need the mana. Luckily, I guess, if they try to blow up one of our lands, we have the backup. I mean, they'd obviously go for the power plant. Not really expecting that until we actually have Tron, but the potential of them letting us have Tron for one turn is sometimes scary because I could get like a Bramble Arm or whatever. But they'll swing for 4 and then cast down the Wizard token. Okay. I mean, I kind of like that they went for the Wizard token because I have a Ghostly Flicker to get him back. Ooh, another Elder. I mean, this is not great, but I guess we'll play another Elder. It would be... Oh, I should have attacked for 1 because I'm not going to chump. It would have been okay if I had like a 6th mana there, because then I can hold up Ghostly Flicker on double Elder, and then I can really start dealing them damage, but just not drawing enough cards right now. There's another Chrysalis. Not swinging with the Refurb is interesting, but I will take 4 more. And now they're sacking Spawn for something post-combat. You should have done this pre-combat, because then you get in more damage. I mean, they could have maybe wanted the mana for something else. Okay, Candy Trail is decent. Let's start with that. I could flicker these and get more damage by doing that, but there's just so many potentials I might want to draw something else. Okay, I actually think mine and then another Ghostly Flicker is not bad, because then I can flicker these with Prism to draw extra cards, make a bunch of guys. So crack the Candy Trail here. Tron online. I think our goal is to like chump both Chris's and then Ghostly Flicker the Elders. Although we'll see if they try to like cast something down here or just go for a draw spell. Yeah. So I could do it while they're tapped out. I'm not sure. It's also possible that I just want to get the card draw, so maybe I should like only flicker 1 Elder with a Prism, which would allow me to instantly Ghostly Flicker and again off the top. Yeah, it's probably better because Prism would be untapped, make another blue or whatever. Krark Clan Shaman. Well, that's bad and annoying. I mean, I could flicker now, but then that doesn't matter. They just wipe it after the fact. So this means I can't really do my chump and Ghostly Flicker. Oh, they're just going for it? Well, this is not smart from them because I guess they're trying to win. Oh, they're just doing it for 1 to get the Wizard? Okay. Well, I was going to say if they go for 3, after a couple have resolved, I could flicker the Elders. It just didn't want me to chump with the Wizard, I guess. All right. Well, we're doing this, and we're going to Ghostly Flicker here. They're going to cast down. Okay. I have to flicker this, draw another card, and then I can Ghostly Flicker here. I was hoping I'd have, 3 Wizards at the end of this, but I guess 1 might do okay. We also have a Black Mage's Rod. Spell Bomb is irrelevant. Cryogen is good, although I can't crack it to keep something tapped unless I want to use the Prism on that, which I think I want to use the Prism on the Black Mage's Rod. Tough call here. Would love another Prism or a Barrel of Blasting Jelly or something. Now we're going for a Relic. We can ping for 2. Draw me something good. Prism is fantastic. Let's play that. That pings for 2. Draws me a card. Lets me Cryogen the Chrysalis for an extra card draw. Tower. So let's keep this tapped. All right, mine. Spell Bomb. Ping for 2. Tower. And we have the mana. Might as well re-equip here. Attack for 2. And then re-equip back to the hero just to spread out the relevance of our creatures. All right, we dealt them a lot of damage there. What was that, like 8? Spell Bomb, Prism, Relic plus an attack. It's pretty good. They have munitions. Okay, that's really annoying. Not only does it pick off these, take away our blockers, take away our ability to deal them damage, but then also we just die next turn because of it. So I guess I'm hoping for a Carevex Torch off the top. I have 2 draws to make that happen out of 40, because they're going to throw a map. They are also going to pick off the Elder. I mean, I think that's wise. If I don't have any of these, I can't really deal any damage. Again, unless I get the Torch. They're throwing a couple lands for it, but pretty inconsequential. They get to attack me down to 10. Pretty much dead on board if I can't draw something. All right, heart of the cards. Let's find what we need. Lembas is a redraw. Let's do that. Expedition Map is a 3-mana redraw, but I might as well just bottom it. Cryogen's pretty good. That's 2 card draws, plus it keeps one of these tapped. Candy Trail's good. Okay, another Black Mage's Rod is kind of useless against this munitions, but if I keep this tapped and then I have Lembuses to survive, I might not die next turn. So let's get rid of the Rod, keep the Lembus, crack the Candy Trail, play Lembus, Viscerator's Insight. Okay, am I surviving? I Cryogen this. I'm taking 6. They have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I am, so I'm going to keep this. I need to keep this tapped for the potential to survive. We get a tower. I mean, there's no way to torch this turn, but I can still draw some other stuff. So let's just sack the rod here. Barrel of Blasting Jelly kills the Chrysalis, actually. I have the mana for that to do it right now. That should definitely keep us alive. Let's just do that then. The small Chrysalis, of course. All right, so they can only attack for 2. They can add maybe up to 7 damage with the munitions, but that shouldn't be lethal. So that was all very good. We got through 8 cards, plus I think we scribed 2 to the bottom or something. So we really got through like 10 cards. Spellbomb's a little annoying because we do have an Eviscerator's Insight in the yard that they can get rid of. They do have another Chris and a bridge. All right, it was a very good turn. I think it only necessarily bought us 1 turn, so we need to make something happen here. They're not going to Spellbomb us. That's fantastic. Okay, so I could barrels this, and then they have still a lot of damage on board. Let's start with card draw of, we don't need a map could be a redraw. All right, we have a barrels here. Let's just go for an Eviscerator's Insight on the Spell Bomb. Draw 3, Candy Trail, no torch, Candy Trail, Conduit Pylons, another Prism. Is that any good? I mean, I can kill this Chris, and then I can, this is 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 damage, which I can technically survive with all of these, maybe. I think Prism needs to go. Crack the Candy Trail. Another Insight. Play barrels. We're going to need to use it to blow up Chrysalis, but in their upkeep. I think we're going to draw 2 off I think I need the Limbus to survive, so we're going to go for this Prism, I guess. So many more lands. Play a mine. We have 9 mana left. I need to use 9 of it to Limbus barrels, I guess. So pass to their upkeep. Barrels to blow up Chris. They can throw it, which actually grows the other Chrysalis. Didn't calculate that in. We are going up to 20, though. It's tough for them to kill us. It's not impossible by any means. Sack the spawn for a mana. Okay. Better than them using it for munitions, I guess. Sack the Chris to an Insight, an Offering. Yeah, they're hitting for 11, 15 with the munitions. They haven't played a land, but I have double Limbus, so I think we should survive. Map. They find a bridge, so that reduces their damage a little bit. They hit for 11 here. I go to 3. I don't know if this is gonna matter, but I'm actually gonna take it and then go for the Limbus after, because I mean, I guess if they play Galvanic, maybe this is a bad idea, but I crack a Limbus here, and they could try to like munitions us 3 times, but then I have another Limbus, so I don't think they're going to fall for that, but theoretically it could work. All right, crack both of these. Unfortunately, we shuffle all the stuff we've scribed to the bottom back in, and we do not have a lot of card draw here. I have an Insight in the yard, but because we lost the barrels and we sacked a Prism, we have very little black mana, which means I think I need to get this Conduit Pylons. There's the Garvex Torch just taunting us. A Limbus on top is good. I mean, I think I need to sack this Prism. Is there any way I survive another turn without like killing them? I think no. I mean, maybe with the Limbus, whatever. We're gonna sack this. This might be the wrong call. 2 Limbus. We just drew so many cards. Here's a Bramble Worm. I guess that blocks and gains us life. That's probably worth keeping. Another Limbus. Prism, sure, for next turn. Bramble Worm, and they can cast this down. I take 11. I can crack 1 Limbus. I will die if they have a kill spell. If I can chomp, I'd be fine, but I'm not confident they're going to let me do that. Yeah. Plus, I don't have the mana to gain the life from the Bramble Worm if I wanted to. I'm going to crack our Limbus and just let them do their thing. Like, they have I mean, maybe I shouldn't have done that because they could have been bluffing something else, but, like, they have 11 damage on board and now still 6 mana with the munitions. So as long as they just don't cast a bunch of other things and actually kill us, like, we're dead. They crack the Spell Bomb to exile our graveyard. Okay. They still have 6 mana. That's lethal if they attack and throw a bunch of stuff at us, which they do. All right. They got there eventually. Cast downs are good, and that's like it, I feel like. Spellbomb is not even that relevant. They don't play a lot of graveyard stuff anymore. Ugh, if I could have just found this torch. Maybe Hydroblast is good enough to kill the munitions, because that was really problematic for like a Limbus, I guess. All right, this hand is bad. This hand is Tron on turn 3, so we're going to keep it. Get rid of the Mire, I think. Hope we don't get wildfired. They duress us. That's pretty annoying. Luckily, we have a little redundancy here, so they can't just take our Prism and we have no colored mana, but still don't love it. This is why you pretty much always want to play your map right away. Most artifact destruction is 2 mana at least anyway, so they're not usually, if you're on the play, they're not usually going to be able to blow it up before you can use it. We get an Elder. They actually take the barrels. Respect on the barrels. I like it. I do think I still like Prism better in general. Okay, but I see why they took it. We're going for a power plant here. Then here's a prism. We got the barrels anyway. So let's just go for an elder into a candy trail and a barrels. I'll keep the Lembas. We have a card draw here. You know, with the insight, I think we're going to keep the tower, actually. It's a difficult balance of making sure you have enough mana while you're also keeping your card draw up. A lot of the time here we've been running out of card draw, but we have a good amount here and only 7 mana so far, so I think it's probably good. They are missing a land drop, it looks like, and only on black. Let's go for a Lembas. We know what we're going to find. So maybe I should have insighted first, actually, because I know what I'm going to find. So the scribe was a little wasted. Crack a candy trail. Another elder is great. Let's do that. Play that. Might be able to have a fast game here. Attack for 1. We have an insight if they want to cast anything down or just at the end step on the Lembas. They also have a Lembas. Find a forest. Spell bomb. You know, the spell bomb actually kind of makes me want to not cast the insight when they can get rid of it. Okay, Ghostly Flicker is really good. It makes me want to use the... I'm just going to do this and ping him to death so quickly. It makes me want to use the insight on this turn when I can still flash it back right away. So let's do this. I've already used that. Black. I guess I can't flash it back on this turn if I do this. All right, let's untap. Pass the turn. So on their turn, I can insight with Prism and then barrels as well. A bajillion damage. They find a bridge, Wellspring, and a refurb. Go for an insight. They take 4. Flashback insight on an elder. Why not? They take 4. Carevex Torch. Perfect. We needed it last game, but I guess we'll settle for it this game. Although I'd rather not show it, but yeah. I could cast down and kill their guy. It would take an extra turn. Let's just kill them. Dome them for 5 plus all the wizard tokens. Cast down would only deal 4 plus I could get in with the elder for 1, but so if it dealt 5 I would have done that and then saved it, but I guess then they know about the cast down, which is relevant. I don't know. Alright, this hand looks pretty decent. We have Cryogens and actually our island to cast them, plus we have Candy Trail to hopefully find our Tron. Plus also, you know, Prism or whatever. Oh, we also just get an Expedition map. I'm going to play that so it doesn't get duressed. They could, of course, Wildfire our land, but that's okay. No black mana from them right now anyway. I mean, we'll go for a tower and just pass. See what they want to do. They have a Wellspring, so we're going to get Tron for a turn, at least. They missed their land drop. Oof, they're having some rough times here. Yeah, I mean, we'll play Candy Trail. Hopefully we can find like a map. Map is Conduit Pylons, so I hesitate to get rid of it. Pretty awkward, though. I can't cast anything this turn, but then it allows me to start casting things. I think we can't afford to get rid of it, even though it is, like you said, a little awkward, just because of the fact that I can only cast one of these things a turn. But then once I get the island down, I can do Cryogen plus 1 other thing, so that's not bad. They have a swamp. Also, this does give us insurance if they just wanted to wildfire our land. They choose not to. Maybe that's to bait out this, but whatever. We get a power plant. All right, let's go for the pylons. We get our Surveil. Prism is perfect. So we get to Cryogen Relic into Prophetic Prism into another Cryogen, if nothing else. Yep. Maybe we'll actually get to Ghostly Flicker on the relics, draw 4 this game. And another map. Why not? Perfect use of our mana. They're going to go for a draw 3. We even have cast down if they just start landing Chrysalises, though. They have a Lembas. Let's try to the bottom. Refurb. I don't care about this bog. They still don't find a land. Rough. Let's give us some good stuff here. Mysidian Elder is good. Let's start with that. And power plant. I guess we're just going to pass here. We're a little bit running out of cards and things to do. I don't really want to crack the Cryo... I might crack 1 Cryogen. I don't really want to crack the second because we want to have a way to draw a bunch with the Ghostly Flicker. Before we do anything, I'll probably sack map for a Polluted Mire, assuming they don't blow up a Tron land or something, and then just cycle that. They go for a draw 2 on the Lembas. I mean, I guess maybe I just go for a tower with the map because that gets us closer to killing with the Carevex Torch. They go for a map. Honestly, I should have cast down the refurb in response, I think, here. But now that they're attacking, this lets me Cryogen and keep it tapped, so that's pretty good. Black Mage's Rod. Yeah, let's go for a tower, actually. They got a discard. We have 6, 10, 13 mana, so Carevex Torch is dealing 12. So we're almost there, but perfect draw here. We can Black Mage's Rod, plus then Prism for more colored mana. Pinging for 2 now, a Mysidian Elder, and then we even have cast down for the refurb, which I guess we don't have to do now. I could because of the fact that they could sacrifice it, but I'm honestly not worried about that because they're going to have to use all their mana in their main phase. They're not going to be able to leave mana up for it. Otherwise, they're just kind of screwed anyway. There's the offering. So we'll just cast this down in response, ping them for 3. And I mean, they had some bad draws in these last 2 games, but we'll see if they can possibly draw anything. Obviously, a Krark would do some work, but we still have the Carevex Torch. Refurb, discards an island. And if they don't have the Krark, there's just no way. Oh, they do, but they got to sacrifice. They just go for 1. I guess that's fair. We have 10. This is enough, I believe, to kill them. Yeah, it's 12 damage, plus I can attack for 1 with our Elders. So Xaxes with the Elder attack. Last round here, we have Map with a Power Plant. It's not bad. I don't love the double Elder, and I like having a Flicker, but honestly, we have nothing to Flicker right now. I mean, we have the Elders, but that's not value. We need value in the early game. I kind of think this is a mulligan. Maybe. I mean, if we had natural Tron, I would probably keep. But with the island, I just don't think it's good enough. I think this one's better. Question is, do I want to get rid of the worm or like one of these two? Because I already have a lot of value. I want the Lembas for the insight, I think. I think I'm getting rid of the barrels. And we're just going to start with the bog so I can start playing my 2-drops. Against something blue. I don't mind that draw. It'd be nice to get Prism down before they can actually do a hard counter spell. Will they have Spell Pierce or Force Spike? Neither of them are really that prevalent in the meta at this exact moment. So for that reason, I think I'm going to lead with the Prism. I'm not saying I couldn't get got, but they just, you know, a lot of cards that are not fully staples. Like those cards are kind of stapley, but they're, you know, they ebb and flow on how popular they are. And you'll generally know. If you get Force Spiked once in a league, you'll probably get Force Spiked again within, you know, another league or 2. And this makes sense. Contaminated Aquifer, probably Dimir Fairies, could be Terror. Either way, maybe they play Spell Pierce, but usually at this point they run Dispels as their only 1-mana counters in the main deck. Okay, and we just draw Natural Tron. It's going to be a turn late, but that's okay. I can still just Lembas here. Again, I don't think I'm getting countered. Next turn I have a Brambleworm. I'm going to keep the Lembas, because if they just hold up Counterspell, I'm probably not going to run the Brambleworm into it, in which case I want to play a lot of smaller things, and Lembas is a great thing to just get some value here. Spellbomb's not bad if they are Terror, but they're probably Fairies, so I don't think I want to play that. I could play it to bait, and then I could play a Worm, but I'm not really sure. Like, Worm just dies, and it's not that much value. So I think I'm just going to go for a Lembas. Certainly, if they want to counter this, I'll, you know, Eviscerate his Insight or something. Barrels is another thing that gets countered. I could bait for it from a Spell Stutter with the Spell Bomb. It wouldn't be bad to have another way to do colored mana. You know, I think I am going to keep this. I'm going to bait with the Spell Bomb now because I get both the barrels and I get the Eviscerator's Insight to resolve if they do counter it. They don't counter it, which might be because they don't actually care about it if they're fairies. I'll still do the barrels and see if they want to do anything, and they don't. Okay. In that case, we'll just pass here. And if they are Terror and go for some mental notes, like we have the Spell Bomb, which is great, but Aqueduct, okay. I mean, they've done nothing except hit land drops, and we have like a million things going, so I'm feeling pretty good right now. I'm going to Insight a Lembas. They're going to counterspell that. Fair enough. It's card draw. That's definitely a good choke point for this kind of a deck. For that reason, I think I actually just want to go for more insights as opposed to Worm here. Worm just gets snuffed out, and I do want to draw a bunch of cards while they're tapped out. So let's Insight this Lembas. 2 more Worms. I mean, that's not bad. All right, I think I'm just going to go for... This is going to look really foolish if they are Terror, but I'm going to assume they're Fairies because that's what's prevalent in the meta right now, and sack the Spell Bomb. Draw 3. I mean, this is a very funny hand. I will give you that. And they are Fairies. Here's a Seer. I mean, Worm's going to be really good. Like, if they can kill the first one, that's fine. It's going to be hard for them to kill / counter 4 of them in a row. And they do block flyers, so that's pretty good. Flicker's going to be really good once we get the Cryogen down. Oh, they're also the Sneaky Snacker build. Bajuka Bog does get an Insight. That's a little annoying. I think I can live with it, though. I would love to hit a land. Okay, perfect. So in that case, I'm probably just playing a Brambleworm and, like, a Cryogen. Let's do Cryogen first. Ooh, Elder's really good, though. So if I do a Worm, they probably just snuff it out, cast it down or whatever, which is fine because I have another one. But I could also Elder, and then if they don't snuff it out on our turn, we're going to have Ghostly Flicker up on their turn. Plus Flickering Relic's pretty good. Although if we pass with Ghostly Flicker, they could Spell Stutter it. You know, maybe we just go for the Worm for now, I think. Like, we gain a bunch of life from it, too. So even if they just kill it, we're not really taking damage in the long run. Maybe they get a Ninja down, although I'm not sure if they'll be playing Ninjas with Snackers. There's the Snuff Out. Swing with the team. There is a Ninja. Okay. Take 4. You know, if they replay Seer and the hold up 2 mana, they have Spell Stutter Sprite on 3. That's pretty good. Oh, and they have an island, so they also have Counterspell. Carevex Torch might be decent. So I think I'm just playing a Brambleworm, holding up Ghostly Flicker. If they counter this, I can play an Elder, which blocks. Here's a Worm, and if they try to like cast it down or something, we get to flicker it. But if they wait till their turn and go for cast down and then have a spell stutter, that's not bad for them. Play a land. Lorien. Okay. They are going to go for a snuff out. I mean, we're going to go for the flicker. Worst case, they tap out here if they counter this with like a spell stutter, and then I get to do some more stuff on our turn. It's kind of what I'm expecting. Ooh, there's a Brainstorm though. Unless they have they could get a Dispel, or maybe they're looking for another snuff out. But if they snuff this out, I still get to draw 2 off the relic, so that's really good. And even if they do go for a snuff out, they're at 8 life, and suddenly they're like really dying. Ooh, they don't have it. Perfect for us. Flicker is so good here. Seer, they can't really even attack. I can attack them for 7. I mean, I guess I just attack them for 7, and if they take it, then they die to a torch. I was thinking about, I have so many interesting, complicated plays I could make. I guess maybe we just win the game, though. They could block with everything to trade. They chump 1 of it with the Snacker. Let's just Carevex torch them for lethal. Since it's a 1 of, honestly, I'm realizing showing it to them in game 1 might actually like make them play around it a lot more, which could be good for us. So I think Demir's Fairies is like, breath weapons are good, but they're not necessarily the best thing ever all the time because they often play Thorn, Murmuring Mystic, Gurmag Angler, stuff like that. But here, especially with the snackers that it's going to get, I think it's definitely worth it. Spell bombs are not necessary. Moment's Peace is like okay, but I don't think there's anything else I want to cut. So I think we're probably just doing this. Like cast downs would be okay too. If we get blown out by like a Murmuring Mystic or something, maybe I will need to bring that in. But for now, I think we'll leave it. We have a 1 lander with a map, Candy Trail. Like I never know if I want to keep these hands. This hand looks amazing if we can get just a second land, ideally a Tron land. We're on the draw. They mulligan to 6. If they hold up in a null for our first play, it's kind of bad, but I think I'm going to give it a try. Like, obviously we lead, unless we top deck a land, I lead on the Candy Trail to try to hit our second land drop. If we top deck a land, then I start on map. All right, we get a Candy Trail. That resolves instantly. Okay, here we can't be picky about our land. We're going to get rid of the flicker, good as it is, and just keep the island. Pretty lucky for us they didn't play a Fairy Seer, because that means we can play a 2-drop on turn 2 without needing to fear a spell stutter, which is really nice. So I probably want that to be a Lembas just because we really still need to look for that land. Like, I'd like to play a map here so that I can ensure my land drop, but I'm not letting it get spell stuttered. I could Candy Trail to bait, but I don't think that's worth it. And if they annul or counterspell, that's fine. We just don't want to get spell stuttered, especially on a Lembas, which would be good to help us find our land, but is our lowest value card here. All right, we are going to Cryogen and see if they have a counterspell for that. No. Land drop. Perfect. I don't want to play a 1-drop, though, because that gives them free value, and we're not baiting for anything. So there's the spell stutter anyway, which means they probably have a Ninja. Moonstrucker Hacker, okay. Don't even need a land for that spell stutter to be available, which is good because they don't have the land. Okay, so I think we Lembas to try to have the best shot at finding our land drop. And if they counter that, I can Candy Trail or map. Probably map, because map ensures land drop next turn. We're looking for... It's not bad, but I don't think it's what we need right now. Candy Trail, yeah. No reason to just let them get value. I could have corrected the Cryogen Relic to keep the Hacker tapped. Wouldn't have been a terrible idea, but obviously I wanted to get the Scry from the Lembas. They discard a Snacker and just pass. Black Mage's Rod. I mean, I could Candy Trail, and then if they counter that, I get the map down. It's just not great. I think we're going to keep the Hacker tapped here. I don't want them to get more card draws to Snacker, potentially. We get another Candy Trail. Would I rather discard a card or just let them get their spell stutter value? Because if the spell stutter just sits on the field, then it's fine if they get it, if I'm going to discard anyway. But if they then have another attacker to pick up, I think we'd rather just pass, honestly. Yeah, they go for it anyway. Get rid of one of the trails. Brainstorm picks up Snacker. Attack with the Sprite for just 1. Well, I was going to say they can counter a 3-drop now, but we just get the tower, so that's totally fine. So now I think we start with a Candy Trail. Another Elder and a map. I don't think I care for either. I mean, Elder blocks, but I don't think that's what we want. I really want to resolve this Prism. So I guess let's give them something slightly more enticing to counter with this Relic. They do go for it. Perfect. They could still have an annul, but here's hoping they don't. The Prism. That resolves. So I could get like a map or Candy Trail down, but I think I'd probably go for Elder because it blocks this. Even if they kill one of these, it blocks the Hacker if I really want to chump. Swing with the team. I mean, this is a 1-3 on a 2-1. I'll block. See what their trick is. Unexpected Fangs or something. Snuffing it out after blocks. I'm good with that. Totally fine. They do have a Ninja for the spell stutter. Okay, pretty good. Draw a card. Play an island. Lembas. All right, let's start with a Lembas. Ping them for 1. Breath Weapon would be a good draw. Perfect timing. That's going to do wonders. So now we just want to bait them into countering something. Ooh, but I need this for red, which means I can't do it on this. So let's go for a Candy Trail. Tower and a Mire we don't need. All right, let's crack a Candy Trail. Another Breath Weapon. Well, I can't currently cast... Oh my god. Well, ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. Maybe they flash in a spell stutter at the end step here? Probably not. Fairy Seer. If I let this resolve, then I can't Breath Weapon the board because they could have a spell stutter. So I think I go for this now, and obviously we have another one to back it up if they just have a hard counter spell or something. Ooh, but if not, that's really good. We lost our wizard, but that's okay. We have other wizards in the deck. They have a Modern Age. I was wondering if we were going to see some of these since they're playing Snacker. Discard a Thorn of the Black Rose. Leave up Spell Stutter for 2. I think we just go for Black Mage's Rod here. They go for a Spell Stutter, and then we Breath Weapon them. Oh no, I made a mistake. I don't have red for Breath Weapon yet. They can counter this if they want. They probably think it's bait, which it kind of was. I just miscalculated. So if they do counter this, I can still just play a Prophetic Prism and Breath Weapon. It's not the end of the world. We just need to find another win con. The thing is, if they let this resolve, I actually can't Breath Weapon them unless I get this Prophetic Prism to resolve, which I can't currently do. Oh, but Expedition Map can find me red off of Conduit Pylons. So I wanted to do the Black Mage's Rod first so that I could get the damage in, but obviously miscalculated a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah, crack this for Conduit Pylons now. Oh, but I wanted to do it on the stack, because now the Breath Weapon's gonna kill our boy here. It's okay. Here's the Pylons. Cryogen seems good. Play a Prism, and I'll still wipe the board if they go for a counter. If they don't, that's fine. It resolves. So I'm not gonna Cryogen then, because I wouldn't have a Breath Weapon available. Let's just pass. Modern Age loots away a Cast Down, and they just pass the turn. Let's crack a Candy Trail. Barrels a Blasting Jelly. An Elder. Let's cast Cryogen Relic. Trying to bait out something, and then I can Breath Weapon. They're going for it here, so I can Breath Weapon, and here's the thing. They might very well have another counter spell or spell stutter, and that's why they waited to do it now. But I got another Breath Weapon, and they didn't even know. They never play around the third Breath Weapon. Embarrassing. They don't even know what they're doing. Expedition Map, barrels, pass the turn. Thorn of the Black Rose, pretty good against the Tron deck. It's a little too late for them, I think. Methinks. Brambleworm's pretty good. Play an Elder. Crack a map. I guess we might as well get Bajuka Bog. I was gonna get a land, like a Tron land or whatever, and then I was like, oh, they have the Snacker in the yard, so I can't actually play the Brambleworm now. So that was a mistake for sure. I still think we'll probably be okay, but let's bog them. Equip Black Mage's Rod here. Pass the turn. I guess we could let this slip away. I was thinking, oh, we got a bunch of card draw and stuff, but that map play was pretty bad. Crack a Cryogen Relic. Get another Elder. They're going to hardcast a Snuff Out on the Elder while we're tapped low. Makes sense. It's gone. Power Plant. Play another Elder. Counter spell for that. That lets us resolve Brambleworm. And I guess we might as well equip this Black Mage's Rod to the Wizard, so it has a power. It can take the Monarch if I blow up a creature. They have a Fairy Seer. If they don't have a kill spell, they're looking for one. Get rid of this worm. Let's grab both to the bottom. Pass the turn. Draw from Monarch. Doesn't look like a kill spell. Swing with the worm. They block with Thorn and Glider. They'd still be taking damage here. 1 damage, but they would kill our guy because of the Death Touch. I'm going to try to blow up the Thorn. Trample over for 4. Take the Monarch. Keep our guy alive. And I think we'll play the barrel. They could have a spell stutter or something here. They get to counter it. If not, it's a nice removal spell for the Fairy Seer. If so, I still get to ping them for 2, and they go down to 2, which means just about anything's lethal. And if I draw an instant in our end step, then we get to just kill them with the pings. There we go. Got a nice 4-1 with the deck. I got to be honest, this deck felt really good. It might be the most fun I've had playing a Tron deck. I do like some of the Monster Tron builds that have been going around, especially like the teamer versions. But this one feels a lot more interesting rather than just get to Tron and cast a bunch of guys. There's actually a lot of like sequencing, a lot of interesting play. We have some removal, mostly in the sideboard. But like a lot of interesting stuff going on here that actually makes me a little bit more interested for the deck. And like when we got up to 4 or even 6 pingers, it was absolutely outrageous. Like we could cast 2 spells and our opponent just got mowed down, which was really, really cool. So this is a very sweet list. I very well might be playing it more on the channel because I did enjoy it. I always like to see a card like this, especially one that people knew had potential but was a bit of an underdog and then didn't really do anything. I always like seeing that actually show up and kind of make a deck. I mean, this deck would not be viable without this card. Black Mage's Rod, we know, does a lot of work in a lot of other decks, but here the Elder is definitely the big one, which I'm a big fan of. Also, I love Ghostly Flicker. I just find that it's usually played in more combo decks, like Flicker Tron or Familiars, and I'm not that big on those, but I do like just a value Flicker is something I'm a huge fan of. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks to my supporters. If you want to support me on a monthly basis, you can do so by joining my YouTube memberships, which allows you to get early access to videos. Thanks to my current $10 and up supporters, Howard Granger, Halcaz, DJ Vinyl, Paladin C, Blackjack Davey, Max, Someone You Know PK, Lucas Lage 3463, and Heckboy 1337. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you all next time.